Before quarantine, I was filling time between rhymes tutoring middle schoolers, and many of the kids thought I was far cooler than I actually am, mainly for my slight resemblance to a certain retired hitman seeking vengeance for the death of his dog. And, as much as I and certain students would like me to be, I am not John Wick. If I might be so blunt, I'm not nearly as much of a badass as he. Although, visually, my dark hair, bushy black beard, bloody forehead, and consummate way with words make me considerably more so. And no, I am not a hitman, nor have I ever really hit another man. Except for a friend I knocked over in 6th grade after he asked out my summer camp squeeze, and the bully from down the block I sprayed with an aerosol can when he threatened to beat me after catching him harassing my next door neighbor Lee. Since then, I've pretty much been a pacifist. I have worked with a gang of assassins, though, who almost murdered me on stage. Okay, not a gang per se, but I have performed with two talented individuals whose exterminating aliases can't help but conjure up a degree of conversational carnage. Both verbal assassin and poetic assassin attended an open mic I hosted, and their lyrics were and continue to be lethal. I've also never owned a dog, although for years I made up an imaginary man's best friend named Spot with 2 T's, because one, I thought it was funny, and two, I thought it would make me more relatable to the teenage audiences I was performing for. Now, I'm no taxidermist, but I'm not exactly an animal lover. I'm more of an animal liker, a somewhat clever cat who prefers the company of a good book and an art house film to a loyal pup or cuddly feline. Okay, I do currently co-parent a beautiful white Persian that's a dead ringer for Dr. Evil's Mr. Bigglesworth. And if anyone attempted or succeeded in killing Vanna White, I don't know what I'd do. Seriously, if someone killed my cat, like on purpose, I think I'd most certainly write a poem about it, but I doubt I'd go on a murderous rampage. That being said, is there anyone or anything I love so much that in their brutal butchering I'd seek such a sadistic, slaughterific vengeance I'd be one and the same with John Wick? So I am simultaneously John Wick and not John Wick, but only in some sort of alternate universe or VR world where people are hooked up to these machines which harvest their energy. But in reality, I have been on quite a few excellent adventures. Excellent! Although, sadly, none of them involved Napoleon Bonaparte, Beethoven, or Socrates. But I did catch George Carlin live in Atlantic City before he died, and have at least twice passed for Abraham Lincoln. And, honestly, in both instances, I wasn't even wearing a dead president mask. Look, I've never tried robbing a bank, but I have been skydiving. Just not with Patrick Swayze. Tried surfing, sucked, and prefer writing in pen to pencils, because I can't stand it when I'm in the flow and my point breaks. I like to playfully argue, and I often play devil's advocate. Hell, I even made a deal with a guy who looked like Al Pacino for a 2008 Hyundai Sonata. Hooah! Yabba dabba doo. I'm also a lifelong member of Sigma Chi, a fraternity whose insignias and emblems were heavily influenced by the story of Emperor Constantine. And I did appear in Much Ado About Nothing in high school, but played Benedict and not the villainous Don John. But alas, I am not Don John, John Constantine, nor Johnny Utah, but will probably use this poem as a Johnny mnemonic to remember all the roles Keanu Reeves has played named John. So I digress. I am not John Wick, nor am I Keanu Reeves, nor anyone of Reevesian descent, namely Christopher Reeve nor George Reeves, who both played Superman, even though I do occasionally walk around with an S on my chest. So it's safe to say, I am not Keanu, but I do enjoy watching Reeves, both the movies he stars in and the type of shorebird better known as a sandpiper. Oh yeah, and I'm not John Wick. Unless we're in the Matrix, in which case anyone could be anyone really, or everyone could be no one, or there is no one, or there's no one. Nor am I Neo. Although I once was told I was the one, but that ended in a broken engagement back when I looked like Michael Phelps, and my ex getting to keep my deceased mom's set of fancy silverware, resulting in a considerable dearth of cutlery in my house, to which I have shouted on more than one occasion, "There is no spoons!" There is no spoon? But really, there really is no one. There sure are plenty of number twos. which is a problem considering everybody's hoarding toilet paper. And I don't mean to shit talk, but maybe I'm more like John Wick than I thought.
So between a rose is a red pill and a violet's a blue pill, I should probably just focus on what's right in front of me. Start to examine what it means to be mean and start going after COVID-19. To assassinate it before we can vaccinate it. To seize this disease that has taken too many moms, dads, grandpas, and everyone in between. But I realize to do so, I mustn't board a bus, jump out a plane, or go on another bogus journey. I think what I need to do, what we all need to do right now, is to just stay home. R.I.P. to those lost, my thoughts, prayers, and love, with pistols, not pistols, lipstick, not blood.